really excited because we're joined by someone who knows this college from both sides. For those of you who might not know, Miss Wightman was actually a student here, and now she's back as our Deputy Principal Head of Mission, which is pretty amazing. So first of all, welcome back. Does it feel strange being on this side of things?
Thank you, girls. It does feel a little bit strange, but I suppose maybe surreal is a better word to describe it. Also very exciting, and both of you have also been doing a lot of work in that space, so it's been smooth sailing, I would say, in that regard.
When you first walked back onto campus as a staff member, was there a particular moment where you thought, whoa, this is surreal?
Probably the very first moment, getting out of my car, walking up the steps, walking into the chapel, turning on the lights, turning on the water feature, you know, those simple routines that I do most days and afternoons, and just taking a moment to let it all soak in, I suppose on my own as well too. I remember that very early on in the year. And probably the second part would then be walking up to Mount St. Joseph and opening the red door and just taking in that history and the memories, the people who've come before. That's a very important building, and I'm always in awe of it. So I would say that those are some of the first few moments, yep.
Did it feel like a full circuit moment?
Definitely felt like a full circle moment. That's a really good way of describing it. Yeah, I just am really, really happy to be back, and I feel comfortable here, and I really love this community. So it's been a great start to the year.
Were there any changes in the buildings?
Lots. I would say obviously there's lots of new buildings at the school, the Mercy Learning Centre, the Heath building, the Sinnott Art building, and the building we're in right now is probably the one that I'm the most excited for, the Ministry Lounge, which connects to the cafeteria space. A lot of opportunities for young people to take part and be involved, and this space here is one that I'm really excited to see in action. So I'm so excited to see how we can work together this year with student leaders and staff to make this space come alive and continue the work that's been done.
Do you ever see parts of your student self in our students now?
Definitely. Probably from the quiet moments at the start of the year, looking at the year sevens, the nervousness and excitement, I see that, I remember that distinctly. Moving into the middle years, you know, trying to find my place, trying to find my voice and my identity, and, you know, the year 9, 10 area, I suppose. And then in the year 12 students, in the leaders, in yourselves, I actually had your position, Faith and Ministry Prefect, many years ago, and I see myself in the both of you and the work that you're doing and your role stepping into leadership, and I think that that's really beautiful to see. So I do see that.
All right, well, okay, let's have an honest moment here.
Okay.
Were you a model student at your time at college, or did you have your moment?
But I think that I tried to be a model student. You know, I would have made mistakes and things like that. There are parts that I don't remember about high school, 6 years of your life, but I would say that I probably didn't get involved as much as I wish I did, and so that's something that I, alongside students in leadership and staff, always try to promote and say to young people is just get involved, give it a go. It's okay if your friends aren't doing it, just step out and just try something new, because you will grow so much and you don't know what kind of experiences you're missing out on. So I wish I could tell my younger version of myself that. But yeah, I think I was a good student.
Is there any extracurricular that you really remember doing and that you enjoyed the most?
Ooh. I would say that whilst I didn't think I enjoyed it at the time, cross-country and athletics training, that was something that my mum highly encouraged me to do. And I think that sport and activity is really important, and it was really nice to meet new students through that. But then even just participating in things for Mercy Day, I did that over the years, and I really got a lot from that, from year 7, year 9, year 12. That was great too, and really cool to get to know people in my house better. And that house spirit is something I really see embraced at the school, and I know that that's something that's going to continue to grow. So there's a couple of examples there, but again, wish I got involved more.
Your role has the word mission in it, which sounds really important. But what does that actually mean to us as students?
That's a good question. I see mission being our why. And when I say that, I mean, why do we do what we do here at Mount Lilydale? And that's not just a question for staff or leadership to answer. It's a broader question for staff, students, families. Why are we a part of this community? And I think that connects really closely to our Mercy Charism. And we know that Catherine Macaulay was the founder of the Charism, and the Mercy Sisters carried out some really important work and continue to do that. That's why we're here today. That's why we're on this hill, Holy Hill, I like to call it. But at the core of that, it comes back to the person of Jesus. And that's the most important thing. Jesus is our role model and example of a life lived through the mercy values. If we think about being merciful, being compassionate and loving with unconditional respect, Jesus is this way for us. And so that's our why. So when it comes to mission, I think that there's lots of different things that we can talk about, but we always come back and we anchor that mission in the person of Jesus Christ.
If someone said, mission doesn't really affect me, what would you tell them?
I'm not sure what I would tell them. I think maybe I would probably ask them some more questions about that. There's about 1,500 students at this school. There's hundreds of staff. There's multiple families. And within that, there's people who have their own unique faith journeys and worldviews. And I think it's a reasonable question to ask, well, what's my role, or why is that important to me? And if we have a community where people feel like they don't belong, or then they don't want to be a part of it, then we can't fully flourish. So I'm not sure the words that I would tell that young person, but I would want to learn more about their why and their faith stance or worldview to be able to work with them. But, as a teenager, I fully understand that it comes with its complexities and big questions about our purpose in the world. So I just like to listen.
What does community mean to you?
Ooh, community, huge word. Big reason about why I wanted to come back to this school. I see that this school embraces families, students and staff in a way that's nurturing. I see that the charism helps our community. Having that charism and having our house patrons, our smaller communities that we have through different houses that we're a part of, even through year levels. I think that community is everything that we do. It's about our immediate community here, out in the eastern suburbs of Melbourne, but then our broader community, our global family. So what we do here in the classroom, but then also what we do beyond the classroom as well. That is community, and I think it's a big part of our why and our mission.
So what excites you most about leading mission here?
A lot, but I have to say young people, students in leadership, any students at the college, you are the reason why we are here, and we want to provide a safe and supportive environment for you to flourish. But we also want you to leave this school after your 6 years with a really strong understanding of the Mercy values. So I see that being a big part of my role here, in supporting staff and students to do that. And I think that that's the ongoing nature of our work here at the college.
So faith can sometimes feel like a big word. What does it actually look like in normal, everyday life?
Faith is recognising that there is something greater than us, beyond what we can imagine. And I think that we question that at times, and that's healthy. Everyone has unique faith journeys as well too, so it's really hard to define or describe what faith is. But three words that come to mind are hope, having hope, trusting, and also having a great sense of love and compassion. So when I think about faith, I suppose those are the words that I would be using to help describe what it is and what it's for.
So what does your faith mean to you?
I am really grateful that I've grown up in the Catholic Church, and my faith has always had a strong purpose in my life, in the direction of my life, and the reason why I do things. And I think that that's the beauty of faith. And when I think about the Catholic tradition, we have a great example in the Mercy Sisters and Catherine Macaulay, who've really shown that. And again, that's the reason why we're here today. But then through the example of Jesus, when it comes to relationships in my life, decision-making, questions that I have, supporting people around me, it's always my faith that guides me. And faith is something that is ongoing, and it continues to grow and change through life's experiences. So I really like the way that as I'm growing and as I'm moving into different seasons of my life, so is my faith. It's accompanying me and it's next to me. That's how I see it.
How do Mercy values like compassion and justice show up in small, practical ways at our school?
Great question, and I like the reference to justice, particularly being our yearly theme this year for the whole college. It does show up in the small moments, and it doesn't even have to take us too much energy or time to necessarily use and express these values, but I think it's so important. It's the smallest things like acknowledging one another, offering, it's simple as offering to hold the door for someone, or checking in with a peer or a staff member, even giving up our time. You know, time is such a great resource. And when we give other people our time and our energy, that is something that, you know, it is just a beautiful example of giving compassion and justice. And as I mentioned before, getting involved. There's so many opportunities at this school. There's so many ways to get involved, to give back, to reflect. And I see that being done, and I really encourage both students and staff to continue to embrace those opportunities, because that's how, as a community, when we come together, we can really live that compassionate love and respect and seek justice in our immediate community, but with our global family as well too.
Quick fire round. No overthinking. Coffee or tea?
Coffee, definitely.
Best school experience?
Best school experience? Jigalong immersion trip in year 10.
Very interesting. Favourite Mercy value?
Hospitality. Hospitality. Yeah, that's my favourite.
One word to describe coming back to school?
Hopeful.
So why was hospitality your favourite Mercy value?
Comes back to Catherine's comfortable cup of tea, and I also think of Jesus in the sense of hospitality and always making room for people. So I love that opportunity to give back, to sit with someone, share a cup of tea. You know, Catherine spoke a lot about sharing a comfortable cup of tea with her sisters, and that was one of her requests when she was unwell. She wanted her sisters to go on and continue that work and looking after one another. And I see that being done in the Missionaries of Charity work, which is fantastic to be a part of, another great opportunity we have. Catherine's Cafe as well, the work with the local community there. So really like that concept of hospitality and how it comes alive. Also in our ministry lounge too, what a great opportunity and great space for us.
Okay, last question. Favourite house?
O'Neill House. And the reason for that is because as a student I was in O'Neill House, and now naturally as a staff member I'm still in O'Neill House. But, you know, thinking about Mother Patricia O'Neill, I just think that she was a great example of persistence and perseverance, great leader. She was in leadership for about 60 years and just very compassionate and humble. So I've learned a bit about her story. I need to learn more, but I really connect with that and appreciate her life story.
Thank you so much for chatting with us here today. It's been really special hearing how you've gone from being a student to leading mission here at the college. Welcome home, Miss Wightman.
Thanks, girls. Appreciate your time and the conversation.